Phillips 66 USA Swimming National Championships began today in Irvine, California. Spots on the national team are on the line, and we will be talking about the hottest races on Deck Pass Live. On this afternoon show, we will preview the men's 100 freestyle as Caleb Dressel and Nathan Adrian continue their rivalry. Katie Ledecky and Chase Kalish look to continue their dominance in the pool today as well. All that and more is next on Deck Pass Live, presented by Xfinity. Beautiful shot there, surfers taking in the waves in Southern California. But that's not the water that we want to talk about today. We want to talk about the pool at the William Willett Aquatic Center, where the Phillips 66 National Championships are taking place. And we're here at Deck Pass Live, presented by Xfinity. I am Jeff Cummings, and it is my thrill to be joining you back here on the desk. And my co-host for the next 5 days is an absolute legend in swimming. It's my thrill to be able to have her here. Amy Van Dyken won 4 gold medals at the 1996 Olympics in the 100 butterfly, 50 freestyle, 400 freestyle relay, and 400 medley relay, becoming the first American woman to do so. She won the 50 free at the 1998 World Championships and collected 2 more gold medals at the 2000 Olympics. 6 gold medals overall, a very perfect record. And it's my pleasure to have Amy here at the Deck Pass Live desk. Amy, it is such a thrill to have you here.
Oh my gosh, Jeff, I'm so excited to be a part of Deck Pass Live. This is just a dream because I've watched it. I know that you guys do the best. And also what a lot of people don't know is that Jeff and I actually used to train together in Colorado Springs at the resident team. We were in lane 1. We were the sprinters.
Yeah.
And his nickname was Schmoopy.
Yeah, all you Seinfeld fans will understand the Schmoopy reference.
Right.
But we would just call each other that. I don't think we ever called each other Amy or Jeff or even BJ Bedford, who was our teammate. We just called each other Schmoopy, and it was just so fun.
I didn't know your name for like 6 months, so it's good to actually know your name.
Yeah. Well, we'll try not to say Schmoopy, but if it comes out, you guys will know why.
That's right.
So the first day prelims is in the books. What an amazing all those guys just really brought it today.
Yeah, it's interesting, Jeff, because, I mean, you know this. When you swim prelims and you are as good as a lot of these swimmers are, you can kind of hold back in prelims just to try to get a spot in the top 8. That was not happening today. I mean, we saw a lot of top swimmers in the country and in the world having to really push it this morning. So it's going to be so fast this week, you guys. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited, too, just to be a spectator for it all. And somebody who I'm sure is really happy to be a spectator through it all is our guest today, President and CEO of USA Swimming, Tim Hinchey. Tim, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, it's great to be here, guys. Special place.
It is a special place. So this is a little more than a year into your job here at USA Swimming. So kind of what were the first year highlights for you?
First and foremost, and I say this all the time, but it's still a dream to be part of USA Swimming, and especially here in Irvine. This is where I train in college, in the pool over here. So every morning, we had a small pool on campus here at UC Irvine. I coach for Dave Salo here, so to be in charge of my first nationals at a pool that means so much to me is just, it's surreal. So it's very special. So today's a big highlight for sure. But I just think getting back in the sport and really having a chance to reintroduce myself to the coaches, the athletes, the volunteers, and just what makes our sport so special, it's just an honor to be back.
So, I mean, you've been a swimmer, you've been a coach, and now you are the head honcho. What changes in swimming have you seen, and do you expect to see going into 2020?
Well, I think the first thing is, legitimately is the fact that we have a professional sport now. That's, and again, I love the fact that we still focus on development. Mitch Dalton, our junior program, we have fantastic swimmers at the NC2A level, but now we have a legitimate stars and pros that you guys were part of, but that are now can make a living, and we need to make sure that we continue to support that. But to be on NBC, to be our Tier Pro series, to continue to work on bigger events, better events. That's not something I remember when I was part of this, part of swimming, obviously. So I love being part of it, and I look forward to really trying to help out and make sure that our sport is first and foremost when it comes to the Olympic sports.
Well, the Olympic sports, I think you really can't think of anything other than swimming in terms of top sport. But these guys are obviously right just qualifying for Pan Pacs in next year's Worlds, but they've also got that eye on the 2020 Olympic trials and Olympics, and I'm sure you do too. You've got those big picture goals. You were talking about the alliance with NBC and all these other things. So talk about some of the big picture goals that you have in this quadrennial year.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a massive meet, right? And again, you asked what I didn't know that I now know, is how important this national is in the middle of a quadrennial, right? You know, we're picking effectively 6 teams out of this meet. You know, you have the Pan Pacific team, the World Championship team next year, the World University Games, the Pan Am Games, the World Juniors, or Pan Pac Juniors in Fiji, and of course our short course Worlds in December. So this is a massive meet. So for me, I think what we really want to focus on was, and we said this before, is trializing our events. We all know how great Omaha is and what this team has done and this organization's done to make our trials so special. But this stadium that we set up is really a major investment for us. And if you look at the LED and the scoreboards and the VIP hospitality areas, the Aqua Zone, the craft beer garden, the food trucks, we're trying to make this a festival-like atmosphere that draws more than just swim fans, but fans in Orange County and Southern California. And we're on the cusp of being sold out for every single night this week, which I think that's proof in the pudding right there.
That's absolutely incredible. I can't believe it. It's almost sold out. You only really hear about being sold out at Olympic trials, and to have a nationals, which, yes, we know it's important, but, you know, to have everybody coming out to see that, it really bodes well for what USA Swimming is to the community.
Without question. And again, you know, Irvine and Irvine Nova, and this, obviously, this part of the country is special to swimming. We all know that. But at the same time, our athletes are drawing these fans in.
Yeah.
Okay, when you look at the star power at this meet, the fast swims that already happened this morning, as you guys were just talking about, to the rest of this week, it's a special time for USA Swimming. And again, we're 2 years away from Tokyo, and it just couldn't be a better place to have nationals this year.
Absolutely. So many people may not know, but you came to this job from working with the Colorado Rapids soccer team.
Correct.
So I'm sure you were really into the FIFA World Cup this year. What were your thoughts about all the lead up to that and France eventually winning?
It's tough because obviously the U.S. not being there and being part of, you know, professional soccer in the United States, and we care about development and where our country is going. And I was very fortunate to bring Tim Howard to the Rapids a couple of years ago, so we care about it deeply. At the same time, what a phenomenal event Russia put on, to their credit. And I lived in England for 3 years with a football team there before I came to Colorado, so I have a lot of friends that are English, obviously. So to see the Three Lions do so well was a great impression of how they're changing their program around. And again, I thought Belgium would get to the final, but you know, again, France, they deserved it. They did really well.
Awesome.
So, last question for you, Tim. You're a big open water swimmer. You love doing distance swimming. I just want to get your prediction on what's going to happen tonight in that men's 1500 freestyle.
I'll tell you what, after being at the Tier Pro Series and almost every one, I think Zane is a man on the mission, and I don't know if anyone can beat him. He's been terrific. He's been consistent. And again, we have a little bit of a void there. So I think we need somebody that wants to win it, wants to be a distance swimmer, wants to put in the work. So I can't wait to see it tonight, but that would be my prediction. Of course, Katie's going to win. So
yeah.
I'll make it an easy prediction.
Yeah, that's why we didn't ask you about the women's 800. I think that's a pretty simple one.
I appreciate it.
So, Tim, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
Congratulations on your
honor.
first
Thank
year.
you.
We're looking forward to seeing how you do in year 2.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All right, so we have another highly esteemed member of our Deck Pass Live team here, Cullen Jones, an Olympic champion in the 4 and free relay 10 years ago in Beijing. He's part of our Deck Pass Live group, and he has a nice piece between the lanes, and we want to bring you a piece that he did with Peter Lasser.
We are behind the scenes. Like, you guys see this on television, it looks so smooth and, you know, seamless. Well, this guy right here is the reason why that happens. Peter, can you please explain to the people your credentials, why it's so important to make swimming look so good, and how you do it?
Well, I've been doing it for a long time, which we won't count in all the years, but working with USA Swimming for a good 10 years or so now, doing a lot of their programming from, you know, Grand Prix, Pro Swim Series to national championships. And yeah, it's a great event to cover with all the races, and it's interesting to try and take an event which on the surface you can look at and it's a lot of arms and legs and splashing, but you want to tell a story about the top swimmers and why they're doing what they're doing. And we've got Rowdy Gaines up in the booth to point out what's going on and why, and using his telestrator to let you know who he's talking about, and which is really important, because you can, if you're just looking at 8 swimmers going, that's been a tool that's really helped him, instead of saying the guy 3 lanes from the bottom, or, you know, in the yellow cap or whatever he has to say. But now he can say, here, watch this guy right here, as they go into the turn or whatever. So, you know, tools like that. You know, obviously the clock is critical in swimming. That time means everything. And you know, we have anywhere from 5 or 6 cameras on a smaller show to 11 cameras that we'll have here at the National Championships to cover everything that's going on.
Now, you talked about Rowdy, and I mean, I think we've all watched him. He's commentated for years. And you brought up something that it's perspective. As he's speaking, you guys are always constantly switching, whether it be behind the block or the aerial view or along the side of the pool when it's Katie Ledecky and she's winning. I think we've all seen it. But how important is it for you to switch? You see all of these different screens, and are you listening to what Rowdy's saying to make sure that you do that? What is your cue to make it seem so easy and so that the viewer has that perspective that they're keeping along with what Rowdy's saying?
We go in with a game plan, and there's continuity there, so we're going into a race and we know who we're going to get shots of before the race, who our heroes are going to be. So if it's a Katie Ledecky race, or we're doing the women's 100 free and we're going to feature Simone Manuel, so we're looking for certain things. Or even in that 100 free now, it's Simone and where's Mallory Comerford. So you're looking at that, and that's all determined in a pre-production meeting of how we're going to set a race up. What we can't project, and then we know how to cover the race, that it's, they're at the start, we have the middle of the pool, we have the turn end, and then back again. What we don't know and what we have to be aware of is what's really happening in the story. You go back to not a USA Swimming event, but NCAA's a couple of years ago when Mallory and Katie Ledecky tied in the 200, which was, a great moment and great story. And then you go into a winner's interview, and here's Katie Ledecky, who's won everything under the sun, saying, I don't think I've ever tied before. So you have to watch out for that, and it's all happening at once, and they're touching, and you're looking at the scoreboards and you're looking at the cameras because you got to get the right reactions. But at the same time, we have a game plan. So as they're coming into the finish, I'm talking to the camera people about which lanes, it's lane 5 then 6 or 4 then 5. And they all have assignments. One camera is going to get the winner. One camera is going to get second place, or the reaction of the second place person. So a lot of it's orchestrated, but then you just have to watch and react because you're off script at that point.
Absolutely. So every time you guys are watching and you see it's the changing of the screens, and you're watching as, someone's sitting there and they're cheering and they're winning and all of those different perspectives. This is the guy. So now, last question. Peter, you said that the key to life is what? What was it? I think it's sitting next to you.
Oh, right there, the dark chocolate almonds. Yeah.
That was my favorite.
All right, it's just so great to see what goes on behind the scenes in NBC, because there's a lot of moving pieces in this production.
Yeah, there really is, and I don't know that a lot of people understand what goes into it, but I'm going to tell you a little secret. You will see people on air, but the people that are back here and in the trucks, they're the ones that actually make it happen. So I'm so glad that you got to get a little insight into that.
Yeah, so thanks again to everybody, Cullen and Peter. All right, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the races, and we'll have an interview with Nathan Adrian.
To make up my mind, so many things that I want to try. Do I really have to decide?
With new flexible USA Swimming memberships, you can be on America's swim team and still do the other things you love.
So many things that I want to try.
Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Jason Lezak.
I'm Caitlin Sandino.
And I'm Colin Jones.
Join us every day for our new show, Taper Time, right here at the U.S. National Championships.
We will be in the fan zone every single day before finals. You're not going to want to miss this fun.
There's going to be sweepstakes. We're giving stuff away. There's going to be special guests. You're not going to want to miss this.
Come on down every single day. Taper Time. It's where it's at.
All right, so it's going to be a great night of finals here. You're going to definitely want to be here if you're in the area. Start driving now because the tickets are, like Tim said, we might be almost close to sold out. And we got a lot of things going on tonight. We got on Wednesday, look at that, Josh Prino, who's going to be in the 200 breast tomorrow, is going to be signing autographs. Dana Vollmer, Olympic champion, Hunter Fly, Cullen Jones, Katie Miley. I think I might want to get over there to get some autographs.
Yeah, I'm definitely bringing my swim cap and my shirt. So I'm driving right now, like you said. I'm on the way.
All right, so that's what you're going to want to find out when you get to finals, and including some great racing. And one of the guys that's really going to be one of the headliners tonight is Chase Kalish in that 200 butterfly. Now, he's not just looking to be able to get the win in this 200 butterfly, which he's been doing very well in this season. I mean, it's a very intense competition tonight.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on today. On both sides of him are going to be some guys that are really, really pushing it. But, you know, he wants these points. He wants all of this, so he's going for it.
Yeah, look at the margin of victory he's had in winning all 6 200 butterfly races at the Pro Swim Series. Look at that. In Columbus, he won by 2.5 seconds, and that was the last meet before Nationals. I think he's got to be really motivated. So we'll just see what happens tonight. And I think it's, like we said, there's a lot of 155s in that 200 butterfly. You don't know who was putting forth their best effort, who was holding back a little bit. So it's the great unknown for tonight's finals.
It really is. And that's the thing about butterfly, right? You can kind of watch it in freestyle. You can tell when someone's slowing down a little bit, holding back. But in the butterfly, it is a little bit more difficult to see who's doing that.
Yeah.
So like you said, great race. Start driving right now.
Yeah. And so, like I said, Chase is going to be looking for more than just the win in the 200 butterfly. He's looking to stay atop the leaderboard, the Tier Pro Swim Series. Now, throughout the 6 meets in the Tier Pro Swim Series, they've racked up all these points. Now, they're going to continue to rack up points here at Nationals, and the points are double. 10 points for first place, 6 for second, and 2 for third. So as you see, Chase Kalish and Zane Grothy, they're kind of separated themselves. So anything can happen. And Chase, if he gets his win tonight, if Zane gets the win, the 1500 is going to be a big one. And then let's look over on the women's side. You see down there in 5th place, Katie Ledecky. She's only 9 points behind Leah Smith. Pretty much you can assume that Katie Ledecky is going to win 4 events. That's 40 points. She may come up as the winner on the leader side, on the women's side.
Yeah, and I'm going to think at this Nationals, the way that Katie looked in prelims today, she is going to walk away with those 4 wins. I mean, look at this stroke. This is one of those strokes that when you see, you know you better stop, drop everything because our record is going to be broken. She's just outstanding, and I really only see this girl getting better and better throughout the series.
Yeah, and that's just the way she likes it, and I think she's actually going to kind of be holding back a little bit this meet to be able to do her best in Tokyo at Pan Pacs, which is the way you want it to be.
No, absolutely. You want to show your best right here at Nationals and then bring it even more when you get onto the national stage, and she does that better than anybody.
Yeah. So we talked about Chase in the 200 fly. Katie's not going to be in the A final in the 100 freestyle, but definitely look for her later in the meet. One of the highlights of tonight, the highlight of the prelims this morning, Haley Flickener in the 200 butterfly. You know, I've always thought that she is definitely going to be the future of the 200 butterfly, but she definitely said, I am the future, and look at this lead in the prelims. She was really going for it, and, you know, everybody was talking about how she was on pace to break Mary T. Maher's meet and U.S. Open record of 2:05.96, which was set in 1981, and there she goes into the wall. And she did it, 2:05.87. I can't believe that.
I can't either, and it was a spectacular race. Here's what I liked about her swimming there. If you watch that, you can see her booty is still getting up out of the water. She is still going nice, and a nice little undulation, whereas in the 200 fly, if you're pushing it a lot, you may drop those hips and start sinking a little bit. So tonight is going to be fabulous.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what she does tonight. So let's move from the 200 butterfly to those sprinters. One of your best events, the women's 100 freestyle, and it was pretty epic there too. I mean, I can't really tell who's going to win this. Look at that. 4 ladies under 54 seconds, led by the American record holder and Olympic champion Simone Manuel. Mallory Comerford, Margot Gear had a great swim, Abby Weitzel. Now they're looking to get top 4 so they can get on that relay at Pan Pacs, and it's not going to be easy.
No, it's not. And look at the bottom there. You got Leah Neal and Allison Schmidt. And I am not going to count either of those girls out to make a push for that top 4 because they are so spectacular when it comes right down to it.
And there's always somebody who's a little unknown, and the big unknown there, 15-year-old Gretchen Walsh out of Nashville, just came out of nowhere, and she's in the final. And, you know, obviously we're looking for Pam Pax, but looking ahead to World Championships, if she's one of the 6 fastest in the 100 freestyle after Pam Pax, she may get a spot on the World Championship team. That'll be a big deal.
Can you imagine doing that at that age? It's almost like Katie Ledecky,
yes,
but for the sprinters, which I think we really need. I mean, we've got some great top girls in there, but it's always nice to see those up-and-comers like that and to see someone come out of nowhere and just blow the field away. So watch for her tonight as well.
I'm definitely going to be watching for her.
Who knows what's going to happen?
All right, the men's 100 free, who knows what's going to happen. Oh, my gosh. So the guy we really want to watch is Caleb Dressel, who snuck into finals tonight. He's 7th seed. And he's really, he kind of looked like he was in danger of not making the final, and everybody would have gasped if he didn't. And he's the reigning world champion. So you're going to be definitely looking for him in lane number 1 because he's going to bring it.
Well, he is. And, that outside smoker position, a lot of people really, really like that. And I do think that he is one of those that loves that outside smoker. You take a breath, you see the whole field, you know where you are. Not that that's really what you do and how you race, but let's be honest, sometimes you can kick it into another gear every once in a while when you see that.
Yeah, but everybody knows he's out there, and I think they're not going to be like, who's this guy on lane 1? No. All right, and another guy, obviously the 2012 Olympic champion, Nathan Adrian, also in this field. I always call him Mr. Reliable because when it counts, he delivers, and I think he's really going to deliver tonight. I could really tell in the last 10 meters, he kind of let up, and when you do that in this kind of field, the way they were swimming prelims, I was a little scared, but he got it done.
He did, and if you watch, he glides in like the last 3 meters, and I was just like you. I'm like, no, Nathan, you got to go. But, look at that field. It was separated by not a lot.
0.7 of a second, just really some fantastic swimming. And pretty much all the top 8 pretty much expected, except for maybe Maxime Rooney in 3rd and 2nd. That's a phenomenal swim for him. He's never really been known to make a championship final in the 100 freestyle. Right. And here he is with a chance to make the Pam Pax and possibly World Championship team.
Right, and it's so exciting for him. That's what I love about the sprints as well, because you are going to have those people that just come out of nowhere in the prelims, and who knows what's going to happen tonight. Is he going to make his first team? That's what's so exciting is, yes, to see the guys that we know so well make the team, but also to see those people that we're getting to know make the team. It could happen.
And he trains with Caleb Dressel, so I know he's been sprinting up and down the pool with Caleb, and it's finally paying off for him.
Yeah, it absolutely is. You know what? We were just talking about Nathan Adrian, right? Because he, of course, one of the best. And here's what's really cool. I actually had a chance to sit down with him yesterday and talk a little swimming. All right, so we're hanging out here with Nathan Adrian. Nathan, the one part about swimming that I think is always a bummer is like the goggle marks. How do you deal with that?
You just don't think about it. It's goggle marks and cat marks. It's just been part of my life for how many years now? I just can't.
All right, what's the one thing when you get to the swim meet that you want to do first and foremost before anything else?
Oh gosh, I just want to get to my room. I want to get settled. I want to, this is my home for like a week, right? Like, you just want to know your home.
So let's talk about your home. What is the one thing from your actual home that you have to bring to your temporary home that makes you the most comfortable?
Oh gosh. I don't think there's one thing. I just have to make sure that I have like something to either cover my eyes, so whether it's a good hoodie or if it's an eye mask. I'm pretty sensitive to light, and then earplugs. Just no matter what, I just need earplugs.
Okay, so everyone said earplugs. Like, what's with the earplugs?
It just helps you sleep, man. You never know if you're gonna be on like the highway facing side of the hotel, or you're on the courtyard facing side, which could be super easy. It's just like everyone's had that one bad experience where it's really loud in the middle of the night or really early in the morning. It's just kind of like a safety measure.
All right, so you've got your sleep, you got your beauty sleep, you got your goggle marks. Now let's talk about the swim meet. This is always fun, and as a sprinter, it's always fun to have those rivalries. You know that you're going to have it again this week. So, what's the one thing in the 100 freestyle when you look at the guys that are there? What do you think about as you're in the ready room and walking out, ready to race these guys?
I'm just concerned about doing my thing. It's just about going through my process, making sure that, I'm in the moment. I've prepared up to that point. I've done my proper warm-up. I've done, my dive. We've gotten my stroke rates down. Thinking about too many external things that I can't control is probably just going to throw me out of my rhythm. So we're just going to focus on me.
So when you take a breath, you don't look to see where you're at in the field at all?
It's impossible not to see, right? Because everyone's human. And I think if you look at my 100 free from London, you can kind of catch me taking a peek. But honestly, that was one of my best executed races in terms of like, energy management and making sure that I'm being able to finish those last 25 meters. I know you know what a poorly executed race feels like.
Yes. Wait, what are you saying? No, yeah, absolutely I do.
We all do.
We all do. Yes,
we all do.
We all
It's not
do.
specific to you. It's that anyone who swims the 100 has probably done a poorly executed 200 and hurt even worse.
Yeah, exactly. So this 100, let's talk about this. You're getting ready for it. How do you avoid a poorly executed race for you?
Well, I mean, you really have to take stock of where you're at. Throughout the season, I can probably press the first 50 a little bit. I don't have as much speed, and I have a little bit more of that, intense training in me, and I have the faith that I'm probably not gonna, hit the wall too early. Once we come here, honestly, the times on the paper don't necessarily show it, but I back off on the first 50. I just have a little bit more natural speed, and then being able to kind of fill in that back end.
And what about the 50? Just go for it?
The 50 really just comes down to nailing your start, nailing your breakout, and making the proper adjustments, as far out from the wall as you need to make them.
Apple Music or Spotify?
Oh, I'm actually a YouTube Music guy. Oh, did I just throw you guys off?
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Oh,
Is there an app for that?
There is an app for that. I actually I don't know. I made the switch to YouTube, YouTube TV, YouTube Music. Oh, you know why? I remember now. It's because I had a bunch of videos that I was watching on YouTube, and I wanted to be able to download them and watch them on the plane because I was traveling so much. And that came with YouTube Music, so that's what I use.
Oh my gosh, that is the coolest thing ever. Final question, probably the most important question.
Okay.
Do I look cuter with sunglasses or without?
Tie for really great.
Wow, good answer. Very good answer. Nathan, thank you so much. Have fun this week.
All right, we'll see you later.
Thank you.
All right, so the competition pool is getting ready for the heats of the men's 1500 and women's 800, and we're going to have the fastest heats of those tonight. And so, Amy, before we go, I've just got to get your prediction. I mean, you're a legend in the women's 100 freestyle. What are you looking for tonight? Who do you think is going to win?
Simone Manuel. Simone Manuel is going to do it. Simone Manuel is going to break an American record.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm predicting it right now. She looked amazing in prelims. That's where we're going. There she is.
All right, you heard it here first. Simone Manuel is breaking an American record, so I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. All right, so you definitely want to head over to the Olympic Channel and watch tonight live, 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Eastern, and you definitely don't want to miss it. Like we said, we've been talking about this. Everybody's trying to qualify for Pan Pac, so the races will be intense.
Of course they will. And then here's what you're going to do after that. You're going to go to usaswimming.org tonight at 7:45 p.m. Pacific, which is 10:45 Eastern, and you're going to watch you and I, Jeff, wrap this whole thing up. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a doozy. You're going to want to watch it.
It's definitely going to be fun. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you back here tonight, everybody.